it is important to begin with a reminder that at the end of this week we will have discussed, and you will hopefully have learned, a list of the most commonly used prepositions, as well as being pretty clear on how they are used in a sentence. So this is a good time to remind you that last week there was linked in on your Google Classroom a list of all the prepositions that you are responsible to know. Not only was it there last week, it is also here this week. Now, technically, you shouldn't need that to study from because you have been writing these prepositions each week as we've been learning them. You've been writing them in your Black Language folder so that you can refer back to them. This week, we will have the O's. Let's see if I can zoom out enough to get it to show them all. Yeah, not quite, not quite, not quite. There. I'll have to move it this way. My apologies. I had it set to go for the computer, but not for this part, right? Okay, so concerning, down, during, except for, from, in, into, like, near, the O's, of, off. See how you can get from of to off just by adding one more F? On to, out, over. So you have 6 of the O's, and we are going to work with them all today. Of, off, on to, out, over. You can see your O prepositions very much answer the question of where something went. The only one that doesn't so much answer where is of. That tells more like it's a description. It is how something is made. It's made of brick and stone. So it's more descriptive with of. Off, on to, out, over. Those definitely tell where something went or happened. Then past, than, through. This is not T-H-R-E-W, like I threw the ball. This is T-H-R-O-U-G-H. I went through the tunnel. And by the way, this is than, this is not then. Then something happened. That's actually an adverb. Than is comparing the two things. I am shorter than most other adults. Than, through, to, toward. So to and toward tell where something is going. Now I am going to need a sticky note for the rest of them. And I will just fold up the sticky note so that it fits on the inside. The U's, up, upon, under, underneath. And again, kind of like with the O's, up leads you to upon, just like of leads you to off. Up, upon, under should tell you that the next word is underneath. Up, upon, under, underneath, until. The first 4 of your U's are telling where. The last one tells you how long or when. I will stay at school this Saturday until I have all of my videos recorded for the last week of January. Until tells how long I am staying at school. And then the last ones, with, within, and without. So if you remember, all the W's really are with. You just have to remember the endings of them. And you will also recognize that in is a preposition on its own and out is a preposition on its own. So there are a number of prepositions that are compound words, two words on their own that are put together and can still be prepositions. Now, I managed to fit everything on this sticky note, so I don't even need to fold it. There's the edge of my paper. All I need to do is trim it off. If you need or needed to use more of your sticky note and have to fold it up so that it's not sticking off the edge of the page, that's fine. Having these in your folder, I will remind you, the test requires you to also find prepositions in sentences and say what the preposition and the words that go with it, that phrase, what they mean. So in the sentence about 10 minutes later would tell when the rest of the sentence happened. Aboard the boat, the prepositional phrase aboard the boat would tell where the rest of the sentence happened. For that reason would tell why the rest of the sentence happened. With a happy smile would tell how the person in the rest of the sentence looked. The girl in the green shirt tells you which girl the rest of the sentence is talking about. So as you are writing your sentences with prepositions in them, it's a good idea to practice recognizing all the prepositions you might use, and then think about especially whether the preposition is telling you when something else in the sentence happens or where something else in the sentence happens. You will need to be able to do that in the test this Friday. I will not remind you of that any other time this week, so I hope you caught it. Your assignment for today is a bit longer. You need to turn all 6 of your O's into sentences. Your preposition needs to be at the beginning, so of needs to be capitalized. Of greatest importance, comma, the message caused me to pay close attention. This one will be a little bit tricky. We don't often start sentences with of. You could also, if I give you a few more examples, of, how else could I make this work? Of much interest to me, comma, the movie held my attention. So that gives you a couple of different examples on how to use of. Off, this will tell where. So off the edge of the cliff, comma, the evil villain did what? You don't have to do it that way. That's an example. Of, off, on. On what, comma, what happened. Onto the roof, comma, the goat jumped up. That would be interesting. Out. So the rest of the sentence needs to tell where something is going out. Out the door, comma, the bread man ran. Over the hill, comma, a fox was waiting to eat him. No, you don't have to use my examples, but remember, the one that will be the trickiest is of. And don't forget also, you need to fill in these 2 blanks answering this question. You should be accustomed to that now, so I'm not going to say anything else about it. When you are done with this page, send me a photograph to show me that you have all of these parts complete today. And then spend some time studying all of the prepositions for your test on Friday.